Hey Milwaukee fans, welcome back to Stenny's Tavern and Grill. I'm Gordon Sepper, the voice of the Milwaukee Power, back here for another episode of the Coaches Show. Joining me today, new head coach of the Milwaukee Power, Nate Eminger. Nate, thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
How you doing?
Pretty good. You know, it's been a long couple of weeks, but you know they've been good. They've been beneficial for the organization.
You're taking up the reins as the new bench boss. You know, you're 2-2 now as your own record as the leader on the bench. How have things been going?
Pretty well. It's been, like I said before, it's been a long couple of weeks. You know, doing a lot of stuff by myself, doing different things, putting in different structures, basically retraining the guys different aspects that I like to bring to the game. But it's been good. It's been busy, and the guys are starting to really play well.
2 back-to-back wins here, a dramatic comeback win on Friday night against the Wausau River Wolves. Big performance in the pipes from Joey Greilich and a big offensive night for Wesley Knutson. What's kind of been happening for those guys now as we've gotten, you know, past the first 2 months of the season?
I really think they're just starting to settle in a little bit. Wesley Knutson he's a good offensive player. Really starting to understand he just needs to put the puck on net and you don't know what's going to happen after that. And then Joey, he's been solid really all season for us. He's starting to see a few more games here and there. Just with how I set up my goaltenders in a way. But, you know, both of them are starting to settle in. They're starting to understand what everything is that they have to do.
And some new additions, you know, coming up. You got Vince Palade, Ryan Hoover, Ryan Butt, all guys that were acquired in trades. Butt, you know, putting in a goal every night for his first 3 games. He's been on the point sheet every night. Vince Palade scoring his first goal this season and big moment tying the game on Friday night. And Ryan Hoover, that little bit of grit that you like to have. What's the impact that these 3 guys have had coming in the locker room?
They fit nicely. You know, they bring in that, like you said, that grit mentality, that want-to-win mentality that we really teach here in Milwaukee, and fitting with the nucleus that we already had with our core. You know, they meshed in real well right from the get-go, being able to fit into roles where we need them to fit into, and they've been proving it, you know, so far with, you know, like you said, with Ryan Butt putting up goals and points in all of his games, Vince starting to settle in here, and then Ryan Hoover, you know, he's been our meat and potato guy, you know, right from the get-go since he got here, keeping things simple. Sometimes you got to remind him sometimes of that, but you know he's doing a good job. He's doing his role and doing it well.
The team really seems to be finding its identity, finding that physicality early on in the game, you know, and putting that staple on it, making guys, you know, turn away from when they're going into the boards, you know, especially in the corners, trying to find it. How does that help you create offensive chances?
The way I like to teach things is I like to be heavy and hard right on our opponents right away. If they're going to start to back away, they're more forced to make a turnover when we want them to, which is just going to lead into offensive pressure and probably a good opportunity for us to put a puck on net. So really, it's only just retraining our opponent to understand that we're not going to back down and we're ready to go to battle with them.
Coming up next, we've got Coulee Region Chill at home, and then heading off to the Showcase where you start off with the Duke Cobras, then the Maine Wild, and then finishing off the Showcase with the Texas Roadrunners. What are you looking at over these next 4 games and trying to get as many points as possible?
I mean, we're going to just keep building off of what we've been doing since I took over. You know, we want to continue to play the solid type of hockey, the structured hockey I like to bring. And I'm really looking forward to the guys just being able to play. You know, that's one of the biggest things I'll preach to these guys is just play the game. You know, don't think too much. You know, allow your creativity to flow. You know, and that's what they really need to hear is, you know, if they're able to be creative and do different ideas on the ice, we're able to find a little bit more success that some teams might not be willing to challenge us with. And so I'm really looking forward for our offense to continue the way it's been going. Our goaltenders are really keep stepping it up. They've been bringing it all year really for us. And you know, our D is getting better, our D core is getting better every single game. So I'm looking forward to these next 4 games. They're going to be a challenge, but they're going to be fun.
You talk about the D core, and that seems to start to be solidifying a little bit more. Logan Drole stepping back on the D, the addition of Vince Palade. What have they been doing differently since the start of the year?
They're starting to get a little bit more comfortable. The beginning of the year, they really struggled at stepping up ice a little bit, understanding their role back there and the biggest thing is they're getting comfortable. They're starting to understand that I need to play the body. We can't let puck and body pass me. It's either one or the other, and I like them to be physical. I like a physical game, and if we're physical, that's only going to be more beneficial for our type of hockey.
Big transition, taking over as the head coach. How has it been for you, and how's it been for the guys?
Yeah, end of the day, this is what I've wanted to do. Coming on board here in Milwaukee was, kind of an easy decision for me to make. And, end of the day, I knew I wanted to become the head coach of this organization. So it's gone very smooth, actually. The guys have been respecting me in the locker room, which can be difficult, especially knowing, I'm only 6 years older than our next oldest guy on the team. So it's been smooth. It's been probably one of the easiest transitions I could ever imagine. I've been very fortunate enough to be blessed with the position and the group of guys that I have. And I think they're reading well into my style of hockey. And then as far as the group as a whole, it's really been kind of beneficial change in a way. They're starting to see different sides of the game, and just getting that confidence that they really needed. We had a tough start, not going anywhere near what we wanted to go to, not playing really Milwaukee power hockey. And making this transition smooth really helps them to build that confidence with themselves and as a team. And we're starting to see that, especially over the past 4 games.
The guys really do seem more energized. What have you noticed changing from practice to film to games and then over the last 4 games?
Yeah, you hit the ball in the nose right there. They feel energized. They look energized. We're starting to have that sense of urgency that we really need. Day in, day out. Granted, it's not there all the time, but it's a better stepping stone than where we began, and they're starting to get it. They're starting to understand everything, and with me preaching in the locker room day in, day out, how we need this urgency, this willingness to want to win, is only going to get better from here on out.
You guys will be heading out on Sunday to the NA3 Showcase, a great opportunity for guys to get scouted. Why is this such a big event, especially for your older guys on the team?
Yeah, there's going to be just hundreds of scouts at this event. The NA3 does a really good job at putting on this event, making sure they encourage NCAA and ACHA scouts, and even, of course, you're going to see obviously your NAHL scouts there as well for our younger guys too that are playing. But it's a great opportunity to play in front of, like I said, hundreds of scouts that come from all over the U.S. and Canada just to see these men play. And it's just an opportunity for them to continue into their careers where they want to go. An opportunity that it's hard to pass up on. It's that opportunity to fulfill their dream of wanting to play college hockey.
And something for you is you got to play NCAA D3 college hockey at Concordia. Did you ever have in your junior days a showcase this big at the Schwann Super Rink, or was it a little bit smaller back in your day?
We never had anything quite this big. We did it a little bit differently in the league that I played in. We had 2 different showcases. We had an early season showcase and a mid-season showcase, and then obviously there came your playoff stuff and everything after that. But nothing nearly this big, but the league I played in was probably half the size, if not less. But it wasn't nearly scouted nearly as much as what this NA3 Showcase brings, and it really shows the benefits of what the NA, the NA3 are really doing for junior hockey landscape, as well as how much the collegiate landscape has changed for hockey, bringing in all these different ACHA schools, the NCAA schools that are adding programs, and just really creating competitive environments for all athletes to play in.
So after the showcase, you guys will finish up on the night of the 17th to come back to Milwaukee. What's going to happen from that standpoint on until early January? Yeah,
they're going to get a well-deserved break. Go home, spend time with family and friends for Christmas. They'll get to stay New Year's up there, and then right away, beginning of January 2nd, we're going to have them be reporting back here, and it's right back to work. It's right back to punching that clock, understanding that we got to finish this season strong. We still have some hope there for playoffs, and we're going to keep pushing for it. We're not going to back down. We're not a team that's going to back down anytime soon, and we're just beginning.
Well, thanks, Nate. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
And thank you, Stenny's, for hosting us. Stenny's, the official Tavern and Grill partner of the Milwaukee Power. We'll see you next time in early January. We're back for our next Coaches Show. Have a good night, everybody.